and welcome to COP26, where we're coming to you live from Glasgow. The IAEA is here this week to talk about the many ways that nuclear can help tackle climate change. And we're here with one of the many young environmentalists that are here at COP this week, Meyer from Generation Atomic.
Oh man, happy to be here.
Happy to have you, Eric.
Yeah.
So firstly, why are you a supporter of nuclear power and how did you get into this space?
Oh man, there's so many reasons, but I think the first thing that really turned me onto the technology is just how much energy you can get from such a small amount of material. Somebody explained to me that like a golf ball size chunk of uranium could power your entire life of energy and everything from electricity to transport, heat, everything. And that's kind of mind-blowing. It's the closest thing we have to magic, I think.
And can you tell me a little bit about Generation Atomic?
Yeah, Generation Atomic started about 5 years ago now in the U.S., but we're internationally active. We organize volunteers to fight for nuclear energy in their communities. This past year, we've had some big wins, probably the biggest of which was we saved 30% of the clean electricity in Illinois with 2 nuclear plants, Byron and Dresden stations. So talked to a lot of the state level legislators, made a lot of memes, and eventually they got a law passed that saved a third of the clean energy in the state. So I feel pretty good about that.
I can see there's lots of other young activists like yourself. So what is happening with this movement here at COP?
Yeah, what you're seeing behind us, I guess, is the Nuclear for Climate Coalition, or as I sometimes refer to them as Team Nuclear. They are from all over the world. I was just trying to count the countries. I think at least 15, maybe over 20 people. There are people like, Dinara, who grew up in Kazakhstan, decided to become a nuclear engineer and lives in Berkeley now. People like Rauli, who is a Finnish author who first started writing about peak oil and now has written a award-winning book in Finland about how nuclear energy is essential for climate change. And then tons of people who are nuclear engineers and, maybe they got into it because they thought the science was kind of cool and they realized that this technology is so important for a prosperous future for humanity, and they realize there's kind of a higher purpose to advocating for it. And it's been so fun working with all of them.
And how are you making a difference? How can young activists really change things?
Oh man, I think a lot of it is changing people's perception of nuclear because of over 60 years of cultural almost indoctrination. People's kind of gut instinct on the technology is that it's uniquely dangerous, uniquely dirty. The waste is just impossible to deal with. And so what we're doing is we're trying to kind of cut through that noise that people have in their head about it with some really interesting mnemonic devices and comparisons and analogies like this one we have behind us. You see, should I say a little bit about this?
Yeah, absolutely, please, yeah.
We see a giant gummy bear here, and we use this to remind people that, the small gummy bear, which is about the size of a uranium pellet, that's as much energy, if it was made out of uranium, as a ton of coal from that small little bit. So that, of course, means us as humans will have a lot less impact on the environment if we use nuclear energy, because you just need to dig up a lot less stuff out of the ground than you do with other technologies. This bear obviously is a lot bigger than that, but we crunched the numbers and we found out that if this bear was made out of uranium, it would be enough to power Glasgow for 16 months. That's a city of 1.6 million people.
Wow. And do you think people are listening? Are you feeling like the debate is shifting?
Incredibly so. Yeah. It does feel like there are some tailwinds here. It looks like the European Union is going to include nuclear as a sustainable technology, which has been another fight we've been a part of for a couple of years now, sending in letters. We sent in over 5,000 letters to the European Commission a few months ago with all of our allies here and their organizations. Saving reactors in the U.S., there's been a lot of legislation that's included advanced reactors and even saving some of the existing reactors. So we see it changing in the policy. And this is my 5th COP. And the difference between this and then before, you couldn't even say the word nuclear. It's completely taboo. And now we get people that are walking up. They're so curious about it. They want to know how it can help their country, whether they're from sub-Saharan Africa or Armenia. And these guys have a lot of good answers how it can.
And what are you going to do to keep the momentum going?
Keep the momentum going. I think, keep being creative about our advocacy approaches. We're coming up with new stuff all the time. There might be a video next week based on the Monty Python skit, but the nights you say nuclear, bring us a reactor. So yeah, just doing really creative approaches that are memorable for people, get them to take a second look, and then aligning with people's values. Because I think one thing is common about everybody who's here is that they care about the environment, they care about the future of humanity. They want to do the right thing for future generations. And we might have some different opinions about how to get there right now, but we think that once they know about nuclear, they'll join the team.
Yeah. So lastly, I hear you like to sing for nuclear.
Yeah,
Would you like to give us some examples?
Sure, yeah. This is like my first foray into advocacy was rewriting classical opera, a song from Carmen, the Toreador, to be about nuclear energy. And then I've done a few since then. So it's kind of fun. We'll sing a few bars for you.
Thank you.
Here you go. Nuclear power holds the key to universal prosperity. It is nuclear energy we must embrace for the human race. And if we build it, history will show it was the right way to go.
That was fantastic.
Nice. That's fun.
So thank you so much for talking to us today. I really, really appreciate it. That was really great to hear your viewpoint and to hear your music. Hopefully we can speak more this week.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much for listening. Please tune in later today and for the rest of the week to see many other interesting interviews about nuclear. Thank you. Goodbye.